afternoon, and welcome to Shakespeare in Shorts. 400 years later, The Taming of the Shrew is one of Shakespeare's problem plays. Modern audiences still enjoy the love story and the dirty jokes, but modern audiences get really queasy at a play about a woman forced to marry and become subservient to her husband. In Shakespeare's time, a woman would be called a shrew if she was overbearing and bossy from the male perspective. Katerina, the shrew of the title, would be called a word that rhymes with witch nowadays. She was overbearing and aggressive with everyone, including her own family. But she was also one of literature's first feminists, standing up for what she wanted in a male-dominated world. She wasn't interested in marriage, and the men of her time were scared of her.
Katerina, also known as Catherine or Kate, had a much more conventional younger sister named Bianca. She had no lack of suitors, but the girl's father, Baptista, realizing the difficulty in finding a mate for Catherine, forbids Bianca from getting married until Kate is wed. Bianca's suitors decide to put aside their competition temporarily and pool their resources in order to hire someone to marry Kate. They find Petruchio, someone who is much more interested in the large dowry than he is in the actual bride. Baptista gets one of Shakespeare's greatest one-liners when Petruchio comes to call.
Pray, have you not a daughter called Katerina, fair and virtuous?
I have a daughter, sir, called Katerina. They quickly agree on a huge dowry, and Baptista goes off to fetch Kate.
I pray you, send her. I'll attend her here and woo her with some spirit when she comes. Say that she rail. Well, then I'll tell her plain, she sings as sweetly as a nightingale. Say that she frown. I'll say she looks as clear as morning roses newly washed with dew. Say she be mute and will not speak a word. Then I'll commend her volubility and say she utters piercing eloquence. If she should bid me pack, I'll give her thanks as though she bid me stay by her a week. If she deny to wed, I'll crave the day when I shall ask the banns and when be married. Good morrow, Kate, for that's your name, I hear.
Oh, well have you heard, and somewhat hard of hearing. They do call me Katerina that talk of me.
Oh, you lie in faith, for you are called plain Kate. And bonny Kate, and sometimes Kate the Cursed. But Kate, the prettiest Kate in Christendom. Kate Hall, my super dainty Kate, for dainties are all Kates, and therefore, Kate, take this of me, Kate of my consolation, hearing thy mildness praised in every town, thy virtues spoke of, and thy beauty sounded, though not so deeply as to thee belongs, my heart was stirred to woo thee for my wife.
Stirred? Let the cook that stirred up this gruel serve it to beggars, or pour it out on the floor.
You'd pour me out untasted? And let my love be wasted? Oh, resist me not, my piece de resistance.
I am no peace for thee.
Oh, and without thee I have no peace. I seethe, I boil, I beg for love of thee.
What cook would roast me up a dish so foul?
What, I, a fowl? You call me a goose?
A turkey, rather.
Better yet, a duck. I am thy feast, a table spread for thee.
More like a
Oh!
one-legged milking stool.
Oh, thou hast hit it. Come, sit on me. No!
Asses are made to bear, and so are you.
Oh. Women are made to bear, and so are you.
I'll bear no burden given me by you.
Oh, I'll carry every burden for my love, and thus your days with me will all be light.
Any day with you will be dark as night.
I'll make my love light-hearted in the dark.
In faith, my heart's too light for you to catch.
Oh, I'll have the whole of you as my holy match.
Whole or part, I'll make no match with thee.
Oh, thou art the match that lit a fire in me.
That fire in you is madness, not from me. Though, not as heavy as my weight should be.
Should be, should buzz.
Well taken and like a buzzard.
Come, you wasp. In faith, you are too angry.
If I be waspish, best beware my sting.
My remedy is then to pluck it out.
Ha! If the fool could find it where it lays.
Oh, who knows not where a wasp must wear his sting? In his tail.
In his tongue.
Whose tongue?
Yours if you talk of tails. And so, farewell.
What, with my tongue in your tail? Oh, nay, good Kate. Come again. I am a gentleman.
That I'll test.
I swear I'll cuff you if you strike again.
A cuff of lace? A lacy ruff? What are you, a man? Or an old maid's curtain?
Oh, I'll gladly be the lacy dressing gown that covers you prettily after your bath.
I'll tat no lace that covers me.
Oh, that's fair.
What's fair?
Oh, tit for tat, as everyone knows. Oh, nay, come, Kate, come. You must not look so sour.
It is my passion when I see a slug.
I make no fist, and therefore there's no slug.
A slug that leaves a trail of slime.
Show it to me.
Had I a glass, I would.
I'll be a snail to share a house with thee.
A louse's house is no house for me.
Oh, your blouse, sweet mouse, is my treasure house.
Nothing in this house belongs to you.
Until you sweetly whisper me, I do.
I'd rather have a knacker melt me down for glue.
Oh, the words I hope to hear, she melts for me.
I'd best leave before you get too sticky.
Oh, my sticky bunty won't escape me so.
I'll stick you in the eye, so let me go.
Oh, no, I'll never let you go, my sweetmeat. Oh, 'twas told me you were rough and coy and sullen, and now I find report a very liar. For thou art pleasant, gamesome, passing courteous, but slow of speech. Oh, yet sweet as springtime flowers. Oh, thou canst not frown. Thou canst not look askance. Nor bite the lip as angry wenches will, nor hast thou pleasure to be cross in time, but thou with mildness, entertainst thy wooers with counsel conference, soft and affable. Oh, why does the world report that Kate doth limp? Oh, slanderous world, Kate, like a hazel twig, is straight and slender, and as brown in hue as hazelnuts, and sweeter than the kernels. Come, let me see thee walk. Thou dost not halt.
Where did you study such goodly speech?
Oh, it is extempore from my mother wit.
A witty mother? Witless else her son.
Am I not wise?
Yes, keep you warm.
Oh, marry, so I mean, sweet Katerina, in thy bed. And therefore, setting all this chat aside, thus in plain terms, your father has consented that you shall be my wife.
No!
Your dowry agreed on, and
No.
will you, nill you, I will marry you. See, Kate, I am a husband for your turn, for by this light, whereby I see thy beauty, thou must be married to no man but me. For I am he is born to tame you, cat, and bring you from a wild cat to a cat conformable as other household cats. Here comes your father, never make denial. I must and will have Katerina to my wife. Okay.
He has almost sucked. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk, wherein you dressed herself? Hath it slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely from this time, such high account thy love? Art thou feared? To be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire. Wouldst thou esteemest the ornament of life, or live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon thy will? Like the poor cat in the adage.
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was that made to break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be so much more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and I know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed its brains out, had I sworn to you as you have done to this.
If we should fail,
We fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him. His two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be receipt. A limbeck only, when entwined is sleep, their drenched nature lies as in a death. What cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
bring forth men children only. What thy undaunted metal should compose, nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber, and use their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares to seem it other when we should make our griefs and clamors roar upon his death?
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mark the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace. It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores.
I have drugged their possets that death and nature do contend about them whether they live or die.
Who's there? What? Oh!
Alack! I am afraid they've awakened and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. I have laid the daggers ready, he could not miss them. And had he not resembled my father as he slept, I'd have done it. My husband.
I've done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now,
As I descended?
I,
Hark, who lies in the second chamber?
Donald Bain.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder, that they did wake each other. We stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep.
There are two of them lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening their fear, I could not say amen, when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could not I pronounce amen? I had no need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought on after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep, the innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore labor's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house. Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of these things. Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your head. Why did you bring the daggers to this place? It must lie there. Go. Carry it, smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I am afraid to think what I have done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping in the den are but as pictures. It is the eye of childhood that hears the painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll kill their face in the river's ball, for it must seem their guilt.
What's this that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? They pluck out my eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No. This my hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the cell entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark! We're knocking. Go get your nightgown, lest occasion call us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best I know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
Naughts had, all spent, for our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than to be destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone of sorriest fancies your companions making, thinking these thoughts which should indeed have died on those they think on? Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of a form or two. But let the frame of things disjoint. Both the worlds suffer, ere we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead than We, to gain our peace, have sent to peace. Then on the torture of the mind rely in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason is done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Gentle, my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance supply the banquet. Present him eminence, both with eye and tongue, unsafe the while that we must lave our honors in these flattering streams, and make our faces visage to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo and his fleance lives.
But in them nature's copies, not eternal.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou jockey. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere the black Hecate summons the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums hath wrung night's yawning field, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up, tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, whilst night's black agents to their frays do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So prithee go with me.
Thank you guys so much for coming today. We're with the Medfield Gazebo players. If you didn't already know, we have maps there, or you can get one at the information desk. There's a whole bunch of other scenes from lots of different Shakespeare plays. And again, we're with the Medfield Gazebo players, and we want to thank you guys for coming.
Welcome. We are performing 3 scenes from Twelfth Night involving the Countess Olivia, her steward Malvolio, and Viola. Now, Viola has survived a shipwreck and is dressing as a boy to get work as a page to Duke Orsino. In the first scene, Viola, in her male disguise, has been sent by the Duke to woo Olivia on his behalf. In the second scene, Malvolio finds a phony letter that has been planted by Olivia's servants to trick him into believing that Olivia is in love with him. The final scene presents Malvolio's meeting with Olivia after having read that letter. Enjoy.
Madam, yond young fellow swears he will speak with you. I told him you were sick. He takes on him to understand so much and therefore comes to speak with you. I told him you were asleep. He seems to have a foreknowledge of that too and therefore comes to speak with you. What is to be said to him, lady? He's fortified against any denial.
Tell him he shall not speak with me.
Has been told so, and he says he'll stand at your door like a sheriff's post and be the supporter to a bench, but he'll speak with you.
What kind of man is he?
Why, of mankind.
What manner of man?
A very ill manner. He'll speak with you, will you or no?
Of what personage and years is he?
Not yet old enough for a man, nor young enough for a boy. He is very well favored, and he speaks very shrewishly. One would think his mother's milk was scarce out of him.
We shall once more hear Orsino's embassy.
The honorable lady of the house?
Speak to me. I shall answer for her. Your will.
Most radiant, exquisite, and unmatchable beauty. I pray you tell me if you be the lady of the house, for I never saw her. I should be loath to cast away my speech, for besides that it is excellently well penned, I have taken great pains to con it. Good beauty, let me sustain no scorn. I am very comfortable, even to the least sinister usage.
Whence came you, sir?
I can say little more than I have studied, and that question's out of my part. Good, gentle one, give me modest assurance whether you be the lady of the house, that I may proceed in my speech.
Are you a comedian?
No, my profound heart. And yet, by the very fangs of malice, I swear I am not that I play. Are you the lady of the house?
If I do not usurp myself, I am.
Most certain. If you are she, you do usurp yourself. For what is yours to bestow is not yours to reserve. But this is from my commission. I will on with my speech in your praise, and then show you the heart of my message.
Come to what's important in it. I forgive you the praise.
Alas, I took great pains to study it, and 'tis poetical.
It is the more like to be feigned. I pray you keep it in. I heard you were saucy at my gates, and allowed your approach rather to wonder at you than to hear you. If you be not mad, be gone. If you have reason, be brief. 'Tis not the time of moon with me to make one in so skipping a dialogue.
I am a messenger.
Surely you have some hideous office to deliver when the very courtesy of it is so fearful. Speak your office.
It alone concerns your ear. I bring no overture of war, no taxation of homage. I hold the olive in my hand. My words are as full of peace as matter.
Yet you began rudely. What are you? What would you?
The rudeness that hath appeared in me have I learned from my entertainment. What I am and what I would are as secret as maidenhood. To your ears, divinity. To any others, profanation.
We shall hear this divinity. Now, sir, what is your text?
Most sweet lady.
A comfortable doctrine, and much may be said of it. Wherein lies your text?
In Orsino's bosom.
Oh, in his bosom. In what chapter of his bosom?
To answer by the method, in the first of his heart.
I've read it. It is heresy. Have you nothing more to say?
Good madam, let me see your face.
Have you any commission from your lord to negotiate with my face? You, sir, are out of your text, but we will draw the curtain and show you the picture. Look you, sir, such a one as I was this present. It's not well done.
Excellently done, if God did all.
'Tis ingrained, sir, to endure wind and weather.
'Tis beauty truly blent, whose red and white nature's own sweet and cunning hand laid on. Lady, you are the cruelest she alive, if you will lead these graces to the grave and leave the world no copy.
Oh, sir, I would not be so hard-hearted. I shall give out divers sketches of my beauty. It shall be inventoried, in every particle and utensil labeled to my will, as item, 2 lips, indifferent red. Item 2, gray eyes with lids to them. Item 1, neck, 1 chin, and so forth. Were you sent hither to praise me?
I see you what you are. You are too proud. But if you were the devil, you are fair. My lord and master loves you. Oh, such love could be but recompensed, though you were crowned the non-peril of beauty.
How does he love me?
With adorations, fertile tears, with groans that thunder love, with sighs of fire.
Your lord does know my mind. I cannot love him. Yet I suppose him virtuous, know him noble, of great estate, of fresh and stainless youth, and voices well divulged, free, learned, and valiant, and in dimension and the shape of nature, a gracious person, but yet I cannot love him. He might have took his answer long ago.
If I did love you in my master's flame, with such a suffering, such a deadly life, in your denial I would find no sense. I would not understand it.
Why? What would you?
Make me a willow cabin at your gate, and call upon my soul within the house. Write loyal cantons of contemned love, and sing them loud even in the dead of night. Halloo your name to the reverberate hills, and make the babbling gossip of the air cry out, Olivia! Oh, you should not rest between the elements of air and earth, that you should pity me.
You might do much. What is your parentage?
Above my fortunes, yet my state as well. I am a gentleman.
Get you to your lord. I cannot love him. Let him send no more, unless, perchance, you come to me again, to tell me how he takes it. Fare you well. I thank you for your pains. Spend this for me.
I am no feed post, lady. Keep your purse. My master, not myself, lacks recompense. Love make his heart of flint that you shall love, and let your fervor, like my master's, be placed in contempt. Farewell, fair cruelty.
What is your parentage? But my fortunes, yet my state is well. I am a gentleman. I'll be sworn thou art. Thy lips, thy tongue, thy limbs, thy actions and spirit do set thee in fivefold blazon. Not too fast. Soft, soft. Unless the master were the man. How now? Even so quickly may one catch the plague. Methinks I feel these youth's perfections with subtle and invisible stealth to creep into mine eyes. Well, let it be.
What employment have we here? By my life, this is my lady's hand. These be her very C's, her U's, and her T's, and thus she makes her great P's. It is in contempt of question, her hand. To the unknown beloved, this and my good wishes, her very phrases. To whom should this be? Jove knows I love, but who? Lips do not move, no man must know. No man must know what follows, the numbers altered. No man must know if this should be thee, Malvolio. I may command where I adore, but silence like a Lucrece knife with bloodless stroke my heart doth gore. M-O-A-I doth sway my life. M-O-A-I doth sway my life. Nay, but first let me see. I may command where I adore. Why, she may command me. I serve her, she is my lady. Why, this is evident to any formal capacity. There is no obstruction in this. And the end, what should that alphabetical position portend? If I could make that resemble something in me. Softly, M-O-A-I, M, Malvolio, M, why that begins my name, M. But then there is no consonancy in the sequel that suffers under probation. A should follow, but O does, and then I comes behind. M-O-A-I. This simulation is not as the former, and yet, to crush this a little, it would bow to me, for every one of these letters are in my name. Soft, here follows prose. If this fall into thy hand, revolve. In my stars I am above thee. But be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Thy fates open their hands, let thy blood and spirit embrace them, and to inure thyself to what thou art like to be, cast thy humble sloth, and appear fresh. Be surly with servants, let thy tongue tang arguments of state. She thus advises thee that sighs for thee. Remember who commended thy yellow stockings, and wished to see thee ever cross-gartered. I say remember. Go to, thou art made, if thou desirest to be so. If not, let me see thee a steward still, the fellow of servants, and not worthy to touch fortune's fingers. Farewell, she that would alter services with thee, the fortunate unhappy. Daylight and champion discovers not more. This is open. I will be proud. I will read politic authors. I will wash off gross acquaintance. I will be point devise the very man.
I do not now fool myself to let imagination jade me, for every reason excites to this, that my lady loves me. She did commend my yellow stockings of late. She did praise my legs being cross-gartered. And in this she manifests herself to my love, and in a kind of injunction drives me to these habits of her liking. I thank my stars I am happy. Here is yet a postscript. Thou canst not choose but know who I am. If thou entertainest my love, let it appear in thy smiling. Thy smiles become thee well. Therefore in my presence still smile, dear my sweet, I prithee. Jove, I thank thee. I will smile. I will do everything that thou wilt have me.
How now, Malvolio?
Sweet lady, ho ho.
Smilest thou? I sent for thee upon sad occasion.
Sad, lady? I could be sad. This does make some obstruction in the blood, this cross-gartering. But what of that? If it please the eye of one, it is with me as the very true sonnet is. Please one, and please all.
Why, how dost thou, man? What is the matter with thee?
Not black in my mind, but yellow in my legs. It did come to his hands, and command shall be executed. I think we do know the sweet Roman hand.
Wilt thou go to bed, Malvolio?
To bed? Aye, sweetheart, and I'll come to thee.
God comfort thee! Why dost thou smile so and kiss thy hand so oft?
At your request. Yes, nightingales answer daws. Be not afraid of greatness. 'Twas well writ.
What meanest thou by that, Malvolio?
Some are born great, some achieve greatness.
What sayest thou?
And some have greatness thrust upon
Heaven
them.
restore thee!
Remember who commended thy yellow
Thy
stocking,
yellow stocking.
and wished to see thee cross-gartered.
Cross-gartered.
Go to, thou art made, if thou desirest to be so.
Am I maid?
If not, let me see thee a servant still.
Why, this is very midsummer madness.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, Mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, you have offended your father.
Mother, you have offended my father.
Come on now, that's a silly answer.
Go now, you asked a silly question.
Now, Hamlet,
What's the matter now?
have you forgotten who I am?
No, of course not. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and even though I wish it were not true, you are my mother.
I won't stand for this. I'll send for Claudius to speak to you.
Sit down and do not budge. You're not going anywhere until I put a mirror in front of you so you can see exactly the kind of person you really are.
What are you doing? Are you going to kill me? Help, help!
Is that a rat? No. But you said I'll kill it?
Oh my God, what have you done?
I don't know. It's the king.
Oh, what a rash and horrible thing you've done.
A horrible thing. Just as bad, dear mother, as to kill a king and marry his brother.
That's to kill a king.
That's what I said. Stupid rash. Intruding fool. I mistook you for the king. Accept your fate. You discover that being a busybody can be dangerous. Stop wringing your hands. Sit down and let me wring out your heart, because I will, if it's still capable of feeling anything. Or if your behavior hasn't gone on so long that it's hardened against any sense of tenderness.
What have I done that you dare to talk to me in such a loud and rude manner?
Such an act as spoils honor and modesty, makes a hypocrite of virtue, turns the flowery younger love of an innocent maiden into the lust of a prostitute, makes marriage vows as false as gamblers' promises. Such a deed destroys the essence of the marriage contract and makes religious teachings into nothing more than a mishmash of words. Heaven's face blushes with shame, and the whole world, looking as if doomsday were upon it, is sick just thinking of your actions.
Me? What act are you yelling about in such detail?
Look at these portraits of two brothers. This one has the hair of Hyperion, the sun god, has the face of Jove, the king of gods, the stern eye of Mars, the war god, and the stance of Mercury, the messenger god, looking as if he just landed on the mountaintop. Every god has contributed to this combination of features, assuring the world that this was a good man. Now look at what followed him. This is your current husband. Like a mildewed ear of corn, contaminating the healthy brother. Have you no eyes? Who would descend from this magnificent mountain to desist to this disgusting marshland? Have you no eyes? It can't be love. A woman of your age, sexual desire has declined to make room for rational judgment. What judgment would go from this to this? Some devil must have deceived you in a game of blind man's bluff. Where is your shame? In these times when lust takes over, everything is turned upside down. The frost burns, gray-haired women are ablaze with passion, and even reason makes excuses for lust.
Oh, Hamlet, say no more. You made me look inside myself, and I see stains on my soul, which won't go away.
Behaving like a prostitute, making love in a greasy bed in a brothel.
Oh, say no more. Your words like daggers in my ears. No more, dear Hamlet.
He is a murderer, a villain, a nobody, not worth 1% of your previous husbands. He's a king of sinners, a thief of a kingdom who stole the crown and put it in his pocket.
No more.
A king of clowns. God help me. What do you want, you noble figure?
My God, he's mad.
Have you come to scold your tardy son for letting time pass and his passions wane instead of carrying out your command of revenge? Tell me! Is everything all right, Mother?
How are you doing? A moment ago, your eyes seemed to jump out of their sockets. And like a sleeping soldier that jumps out of bed at the sound of the alarm, your hair stood up straight. My dear son, try to calm the excitement of your disturbed mind. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at him. At him! Look how he stares at me with that pale face, with that expression and that tone of voice. He can make stones respond. Don't look at me with that pitiful expression. You'll ruin my chances to chastise my mother instead of berating her. I'll end up crying.
Who are you speaking to?
You see nothing there.
I see everything that's there, which is nothing.
And you heard nothing.
Nothing but ourselves.
Look, my father, dressed as if he were alive. Look, he's going out the door.
Is that just your imagination? Mental illness could cause hallucinations.
Mental illness. My pulse beats normally, just like yours. I haven't been saying anything crazy. Go ahead. Test me. Say anything, and I'll repeat back to you your exact words. No madman can do that. Mother, for the love of God, do not make this about my state of mind and not about your immoral transgressions that are the issue here. Putting a bandage over a dirty cut and letting it infect everything underneath. Confess your sins. Repent for what you've done and stop this immoral behavior. Don't make things worse than they already are. But forgive my lecturing. In these morally lax times, even vice must say to virtue, I beg your pardon. Even bowing before him before she does anything good for him.
Oh, Hamlet, you have broken my heart in half.
Then throw away the bad half and keep on living with the good. Good night, Mother. Don't let Claudius tempt you into bed tonight. Pretend to be virtuous even if you're not. Not sleeping with him tonight will make it easier the next night. Once again, good night, Mother. When you've repented and asked for God's blessing, then I'll pray for you. As for this Lord, I regret what I've done. But heaven has decided to punish him with me and me with him by acting as its scourge. I'll hide the body, but I'll have to answer for his death. Once again, good night, Mother. I'm only being hard on you in order to help you. Things have started off bad and they're going to get worse.
But what should I do?
Here's what you shouldn't do. Don't let Claudius tempt you into bed by stroking your face or calling you sweet names. Don't let him convince you that I'm not mad, only pretending to be. On the other hand, you could tell Claudius everything. It would take a just, wise, and mature queen to keep such secrets from this toad, this rat, this monkey. You could ignore all common sense and be like the ape in the children's stories. He took a bird cage up to the roof, and when he saw the birds fly away, he decided to mimic them. He got into the cage and leapt out. Well, Mother, let the cat out of the bag, and you too will end up with a broken neck.
You can rest assured, as long as words are formed from breath, and breath comes from life, I will not breathe a word of this to Claudius.
You know I have to go to England.
I've forgotten. Claudius decided on.
Because of this man, I'm being packed off to England. I'll haul his guts into the other room. Once again, good night, Mother.
Claudius looks like a real important advisor now. All quiet and serious. When he was alive, he was a babbling fool. Come, my lord. I'll draw forward to an end with you. Good night, mother.
Flats and prosper fall, and make him by inch meal a disease. Well, his spirits hear me, but yet I needs must curse. And no more pinch, freight me with virgin shows, pitch me i' the mire, nor lead me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way, unless he bid them. And yet for every trifle are they set upon me, sometimes like apes that mow and chatter at me, and after bite me, and then like hedgehogs that lie tumbling in my barefoot way, and mount their pricks at my footfall. Oh, and sometimes am I all wound with adders, that with cloven tongues do hiss me into madness. Oh, and lo, no, lo! Here comes a spirit of his, to torment me for bringing wood in slowly. I'll fall flat, perchance he will not mind me.
Here is neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all, and another storm brewing. I can hear it sing in the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one, looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. It should thunder, as it did before. I know not where I would hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. Ho! What? What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? That's a fish. It smells like a fish. Very ancient and fish-like smell. The kind not of the newest, poor John. It's a strange fish. Were I in England now, as once I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday fool there, but would give a piece of silver. There would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man. When he will not give a doit to relieve a lame beggar, he will lazy out 10 to see a dead Indian. Legged like a man. Fins like arms. It's warm on my troth. I do let loose my opinion, hold it no longer, that this is no fish, but an islander that has lately suffered from a thunderbolt. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There's no other shelter hereabouts. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. Here will I shroud me till the dregs of the storm be past.
I shall no more to see. Here shall I die ashore.
This is a scurvy tune to be singing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. The master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner and his mate, loved Mo, Meg, Marion, and Marjorie. But none of us cared for Kate. For she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, "Go hang!" She loved not the savor of tar nor of pitch, yet a tailor might scratch her where she did it. Than to see boys and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune to, well, here's my comfort.
Do not torment me. Oh, what's the matter? Have we devils here? Do you play tricks upon us with savages and men of Id? Huh? I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your four legs. For it hath been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground, and it shall be said so again while Stefano breathes up nostrils.
Oh, the spirit torments me.
Huh? This is some monster of the isle, with 4 legs, who hath got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief, if it be but for that. If I could recover him and keep him tame and get to Naples with him, well, he's a present for any emperor that ever trod on neat leather.
I prithee, do not torment me. I'll bring my wood home faster.
Oh, he's in his fit now and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If he'd never drunk wine before, we'll go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not ask too much for him. He shall pay for him that hath him, and that soundly.
Thou dost me yet but little harm. Oh, thou wilt anon. I know it by thy trembling. Now prosper works on thee.
Oh, come on your ways. Open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. Open your mouth. This will shake your shaking, I can tell you, and that soundly. You cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chaps again.
I know that voice, but he is drowned, and these are devils. Oh, defend me!
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle can recover him, I will help his ague. Come, amen, I shall pour some into thy other mouth.
Stefano?
Does thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy, this is a devil and no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stefano, if thou beest Stefano, touch me and speak to me, for it is I, Trinculo. Be not afeard, your good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. Oh, if any be Trinculo's legs, these be they. No, villain, bury Trinculo indeed. Well, how came you to be the siege of this moon calf? And can he fetch Trinculos?
Oh, I took him to be killed with a thunderstroke. But Stefano, art thou not drowned? I hope thou art not drowned. Is the storm o'erblown? I hid under the dead moon calf's gabardine for fear of the storm, but Stefano, art thou alive? Oh, Stefano, to Neapolitan skate!
Oh, prithee, do not turn me about. My stomach's not constant.
These be strange things, and if they be not spirits, that is a brave god and bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? How camest thou thither? Swear by this bottle. How camest thou thither? I escaped on a butt of sack, which the sailors heaved overboard, by this bottle which I made from the bark of a tree with mine own hands since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear on that bottle to be thy true subject, for that liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear then how thou escapest.
Swim ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sorry.
Here, kiss the book. If thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Stefano, hast any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My cellar is in the rock by the seaside where my wine is hid. How now, mooncalf, how does thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man of the moon wherein time was.
But I have seen thee in her, and I adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog and thy bush.
Here, swear to that. Kiss the book. I will furnish anon with new contents. Swear.
By this good light, this is a very shallow monster. I have fear to him, a very weak monster. Oh, the man in the moon! Most poor, credulous monster. Well-drawn monster, in good sooth.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the isle. I'll kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god.
Oh, this is a most perfidious and drunken monster. When God's asleep, he'll rob the body.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puffy-headed monster. A most scurvy monster. Yep, I could find in my heart to beat him.
Oh, come, kiss.
But that the poor monster's in drink. Abominable monster.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee and get thee wood enough. What, a plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee. A wondrous man.
This is a very ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
Pretty. Let me show thee where crabs grow. And I, with my long nails, will dig thee pig nuts. I'll show thee a jay's nest, and teach thee how to snare the nimble marmoset.
bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get thee young scamels from the rocks.
Wilt thou go with me? Prithee, lead the way now, without any more talking. Drink it all. Huh? The king and all our company else being drowned, we will inherit here. Okay. Bear my bottle, fellow Trinculo. We'll fill him by and by again.
Ah, farewell, master! Master, farewell!
A howling monster, a drunken monster.
Oh, and no more dams I'll make for fish nor fiction firing, requiring no state trencher nor wash dish. A bit, Kikala bed, has a new master, got a new man. Freedom, heyday, freedom, heyday, woohoo!
Oh, brave monster, I'll lead the way.
Yes.
The gold I gave to Dromio is laid up safe at the Centaur, and the heedful slave is wandereth forth in care to seek me out. By computation and my host's report, I could not speak to Dromio, since at first I sent him from the mart. See, here he comes. How now, good sir, is your merry humor alter? As you love strokes, so jest with me again. You know no Centaur? You receive no gold? Your mistress set to have me home to dinner? My house was at the Phoenix? Wast thou mad that thus so madly thou didst answer me?
What answer, sir? When spake I such a word?
Even now, even here, not half an hour since.
I have not seen you since you sent me hence, home to the Centaur with the gold you gave me.
Villain, thou didst deny the gold's receipt, and told me of a mistress, and a dinner, for which I hope thou feltest I was displeased.
I'm glad to see you in this merry vein. Where comes this jest? I pray you, master, tell me.
Yea, dost thou jeer and flout me in the teeth? Thinkest I jest? Hold. Take you that! And that!
Hold, sir! For God's sakes! Now your jest is earnest. Upon what bargain do you give it me?
Because that I familiarly sometimes do use you for my fool and chat with you, your sauciness will jest upon my love and make a comment of my serious hours. When the sun shines, let foolish gnats make sport, but creep in crannies when he hides his beams. If you will jest with me, know my aspect, and fashion your demeanor to my looks, or I will beat this method in your sconce.
Sconce, call you it? So you would use battering? I'd rather have it ahead. And since you use these blows long, I will get a sconce for my head and ensconce it too. Or I shall seek my wit in my shoulders. But I pray you, master, why am I beaten?
Dost thou not know?
Nothing, sir, but that I am beaten.
Shall I tell you?
Aye, sir, and wherefore? For they say every why hath a wherefore.
Why, first, for flouting me, and then wherefore, for urging it the second time to me.
Was there ever any man thus beaten out of season, when the why and the wherefore is neither rhyme nor reason? Do you know me, sir? Am I Dromio? Am I your man? Am I myself?
Thou art Dromio, thou art my man, thou art thyself.
I am an ass. I am a woman's man, and besides myself.
What woman's man? How besides thyself?
Marry, sir, besides myself. I am due to a woman, one that claims me, one that haunts me, one that'll have me.
What claim lays she to thee?
Marry, sir.
Oh.
Such a claim as you would lay to your horse, and she would have me as a beast. Not that I, being a beast, she will have me, but that she, being a very bestial creature, lays claim to me.
What is she?
A very reverent body. A man may not go by without he say, Sir Reverence. I have lean luck in the match, but she is a wondrous fat marriage.
How dost thou mean a fat marriage?
Marry, sir. She's the kitchen wench, and all grease. I know not what used to put her to, but to make a lamp of her and run from her by her own light. The oil and the tallow in them and her rags would burn a Poland winter. If she lived till doomsday, she would burn a whole week longer than the whole world.
What complexion is she of?
Swart like my shoe. But her face, nothing so clean kept. For why? She sweats. A man may go over shoes in the grime of it.
That is a fault that water will mend.
Nay, sir, 'tis ingrained. Noah's flood could not do it.
What's her name?
Nell, sir. But her name in 3/4, that's an L and 3/4, will not measure her from hip to hip.
So she bears some breath.
No more from head to toe than from hip to hip. She is spherical, like a globe. I could find out countries in her.
In what part of her body lies Ireland?
Faith, sir, in her buttocks, found it out by the bogs.
Where, Scotland?
I found her by the Baroness, hard in the palm of the hand.
Where, France?
In her forehead, armed and reverted, making war against her heir.
Where, England?
I looked for the chalky cliffs, but could find no whiteness in them. But I guess it were in her chin, for the salt room that ran between France and it.
Where, Spain?
Faith, I saw it not, but I felt it hot on her breath.
Where, America, the Indies?
Oh, sir, upon her nose, all are embellished with rubies, carbuncles, sapphires, declining their rich aspect to the hot breath of Spain, who sent whole armados to be carricked and ballast in her nose.
Where, Belgium, the Netherlands?
Oh, sir, I did not look so low.
Oh.
To conclude, this drudge or diviner lays claim to me, calls me Dromio, tells me of what privy marks I have about me, like the mark on my shoulder, the mole on my neck, the great wart on my left arm, that I, amazed, ran from her as a witch. And I think, if my breast had not been made of faith and my heart of steel, she'd have transformed me into a curdled dog and made me turn of the wheel.
Go hide thee presently post to the road, and if the wind blow any way from shore, I will not harbor in this town tonight. If any bark put forth, come to the mart where I will walk until thou return to me. If everyone knows us and we know none, 'tis time, I think, to trudge, pack, and be gone.
As a bear, a man would run for life, so I fly I from she that will be my wife.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.